All right. So first off, I'm going to start by saying I didn't join JROTC in high school because I hated the military, cops, any law enforcement. In the Bible, it states that you respect authority, even if they're, your parents slamming you into a wall drunk and high. But Melissa specifically stated that she was going to tell law enforcement that I hate them. She was going to get everybody on board and she was going to make the cops hate me. So I know that there are naive cops who literally are probably youngins or the ones who honestly believe Melissa. And then there's some that actually feel sorry for the situation. Like, I was sitting in Paris, Texas police department months before what happened in 2019, trying to become a cop. Do you know, because Melissa was telling people that I was on drugs, that they immediately said if you have any Class C charges on your record, which I had one charge on my record, which was a DUI, and it was from years ago. And Melissa was telling the town that I was on drugs. So why would I sit in a police room or a police department and be ready to be tested and like my piss at their disposal if I was high? That would be like the dumbest thing you could do. Anyway, so I tried to become a cop. And they said that I couldn't take the test and couldn't move forward because I had that on my record. They were like, well, if anybody... And I've asked other towns and other police officers questions about, like, what their stipulations are. And they were like, I've never heard of such a thing. It was all because Melissa and Paul moved me to Paris, Texas to ruin my life. And then they got in good with Demetrius and the DA. Then Aaron Lewis hated me. And then when that cop slammed me into a wall and I swung backward to protect myself, my entire life was ruined. Everything. Like, I lost my career. I lost my reputation. I had people telling the cops I was on drugs when I wasn't. Like, they were coming up to the cops saying, I think she's on drugs. And that's why I got slammed into the wall that day. And did they test me for anything? No. They just told everybody I was. And it's not fair that my life is ruined because people keep saying I'm on drugs. And so I was literally crying in Paris, Texas, crying to the chief, crying to him. And the cop who slammed me into a wall was laughing behind the wall. She was laughing at the fact that I was crying. And she started dragging me into the jail cell. And I wasn't done explaining to the chief what was going on. I desperately did not want to be charged for something that I didn't do. I understand that I ran into somebody's yard, but nobody was touched. And I sure as hell didn't resist arrest. And they had been harassing me for months, harassing me. Scratching my car and having their kids come in my yard and cuss me out. And, you want some smoke? Da, 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 da. Like a pregnant lady standing in my yard. And I'm closing my door on her. And as much as I reported it and called the cops for help, they didn't want to help because Melissa had already told them that I'm a bad person. And so that followed me because they set that whole thing up with Armstrong to get me kicked out of my place. Melissa told the legal system I was on drugs. Aaron Lewis was investigating me using oil field money, paying people off. And then you get like a town that really freaking hates you and never gives you a chance to like move forward. They got Bonham and Honey Grove to lie. And then they paid Gary Timms off to run around saying I was on drugs when I wasn't. So Harris is sitting there literally telling me, if I ever see you in this courtroom again, I'm going to charge you to the fullest extent of the law. But I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't on drugs. So if that's what he meant subliminally, then somebody's paying people off to lie that I am. And I never got people went in front of Judge Woodson and they talked subliminal to him. So I'm literally sitting there like, so all you hear is me, 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 me. And you really think I'm on like meth or marijuana or whatever. Then I literally have Dane Mulig on the phone with me saying, you need to stop smoking weed. And I'm like, I don't smoke weed. So I don't understand why people keep saying I'm on drugs when I'm not. It's because I surrounded myself with people that I thought could have been better people. They made those choices outside of what I knew about them. If Gary Timms, I knew he got his drugs in Hugo. And this was around the time that we stopped talking. We did not hang out anymore. There was like a length of time where I did not contact him but then while I lived in Bonham, I searched his background and my jaw dropped. I didn't even know. And all these people knew the type of person that was around me and how it would affect my life. And I didn't even know. And so God knows what they said behind my back. But they did so many hair follicle tests and found nothing. Over and over and over again. I can't stress enough how much it was a setup. I don't talk to these people. I don't hang out with these people. I will never again. But you need to understand how Aaron Lewis did set it up with Bonham and the police there. And because of what happened in 2019, they called me crazy in documents. And it's certain cops. It's not all of them. They called me crazy in documents when I wasn't. They tortured me when I shouldn't have been tortured. They wanted to throw me into a literal, in a straitjacket, but my Bible saved me. And I think they wanted me to go crazy to the extent of they watched my shit for 4 months. 4 months. And I'm like, I'm not even going to flush. I'm going to show them my hands, and then I'm going to show them my shit, and then I'm going to flush. That's how serious I was about the fact that so much of society lied, and there was a huge conspiracy theory, and Demetrius and my family were in on it. And I don't know how to, how do I change the minds of people who are in the military and who are cops? How do I change the minds of people who literally have a family of cops and they're going to side with them rather than siding with somebody who wanted to be a cop in the first place? It's like some people just do it for the money. I want to do it to help people. And they won't let me. They want me to be freaking Cinderella scrubbing toilets for the rest of my life. With a toothbrush. I'm tired. Just because I express the facts in certain cases, it doesn't mean that all cops are that way. It doesn't mean that all judges are that way. But I am telling you, I have dealt with such a corrupt government system that if I didn't have God in my life, I would hate cops. But because I understand the difference between what a bad person is and what a good person is, and regardless of if they wear a badge or not, because I'm not naive, I'm able to separate the two. But I am extremely tired of being looked at like a piece of crap and being pummeled down and people thinking that this right here is giving them something to bury me. It's not. It's the truth. And this is nothing. There is a certain group of people that want to bury me, and not all of them. Some of them are going to look the other way, but when I get to Bonham and you're pulling me over, you're arresting me for trespassing charges, which I didn't trespass because Aaron Lewis is paying Gary Timms off to say that he was associated with me when I lived there because you guys placed me there when I applied to multiple towns and you placed me exactly where you knew Gary Timms was. How much money did you get for that? And I didn't even know. And then you arrest me for trespassing charges. You have no proof that we were ever hanging out because we weren't. And then how does everybody know that you're going to stop me at a stop sign 3 days before I get stopped at a stop sign? Exactly my point. It's all a setup. It's a conspiracy and it's wrong. So if there is 50% of cops out there that believe it's wrong, please stand up for me because I do stand up for you. It's the ones that take their job for granted. It's the ones that wear a badge and do the opposite thing. It's the corrupt people who literally make cops look bad. And that's why there was a movement to defund the police. Not because all cops are bad. And not because everybody goes into that profession looking to I'm tired. I'm done. This is not a war. When I was sitting in the courtroom for my DWI, my lawyers asked me, the chief of police, which was in Paris, Texas, his wife is on your jury trial. Do you want to remove her? And I said no, because it's not her fault. Why would I remove her? Well, it would look bad for your case because it seems like you're against the cops. I'm not against the cops. How many times do I have to tell you that? I am against this cop in particular who wants to lie. I am against the Bonham police who wanted to lie. Not all of them. There were security guards that literally took care of me in Bonham after they tortured me. Like, everybody is different. So I didn't remove her from my jury trial. And this is not a war. So I guess I'm going to let you decide what you want to do. But I'm done with the conspiracy. I'm done with cops coming in thinking I'm against them. I'm done with being guilty by association because God tells me to love all people. I am done. I'm not doing anything wrong, and you need to stop listening to my family who wanted to steal my kids in the first place.